All right, to remove your couch in your 380 FLR camper, pull the cushions out. You want to access these screws on each side of that plate and take this part out. And once you get that part out, it will expose the 6 screws, 3 on each side, to remove the couch. And then after you get the couch out, you can remove the box, the wiring harnesses and the box out of your way to access your lag screws. So you'll just put it back in reverse order. Put the couch back in first, screw it down, then put this piece on it, then fold it back up and put your cushions back on. All right, after you get your couch out of the way, it'll be 3, 6, 12 screws holding the couch in. I'll have another video for that. There'll be 3 screws like this that holds this box in place that's got your rollers on it. Hopefully yours won't be like mine where one of the screws was behind the rollers. I had a hard time getting it off, but there should be one on each end and one somewhere in the middle of the box. And all it does is secure this wooden cover over where your lag bolt screws are. You'll have to take all the wiring off for the slide out and all that good stuff off. Just take your picture before you take that off so you can put it back in place correctly. I'll come back here in a second with another video showing some footage showing everything back in place and what it should look like once you're done. All right, it is May the 5th, 2024. I'm just documenting replacing my 3/8" lag bolts in my 2021 380 FLR-R with the 1/2" bolts provided by Grand Design, part number 961661. I'm going to be using Loctite epoxy per the TSB 24-001. I will inject some in the hole for the existing holes that currently have the 3/8" bolts, and I will also put a bead down the bolt per the instructions in the TSB. I have a 3/16 drill bit for the 2 holes that have never had lag bolts in those, and I will only go through the very first part of the aluminum, and then I will hand put these in. These bolts are in by hand. I'm going to be doing it with a ratchet, no impact wrenches or nothing, because I don't want to strip anything out. I want these to actually hold. And then I will put the couch back, the box back in place, the couch in place. And I'm also going to mark the position of the bolt heads on the frame for future reference in case they ever move or anything after the install. I'll mark their current position with this white paint marker on the bolt head and the rail. Alright, and finished installing the new 1/2" lag bolts, 961661, all 6. 2 that didn't have the holes in them in my 2021 380 FLR-R on 5/5/2024. Mark the bolts with a paint pen. That way I'll know in the future if the bolts are moving. I even put the date that I put them on here on the beam. And this is on the door side, passenger side. So I used the Loctite epoxy that bonds to wood and metal. I injected it up in the holes. I used a 3/16 drill bit to get the holes, the bolts in the holes that didn't already have the 3/8 lags in them. So this is just a document for any issues that I may have in the future. Alright, this is how to route your cables back on the box. Key to it all is to make sure the one with the bungee cord is on the outside, and reuse all your old hose and put your cover back on down there. Alright, just finished installing the new 1/2" lag bolts that Grand Design gave me, part number 961661. on the driver's side of the camper, I've marked the bolts with a paint pen. Again, on this side to check later to see if I have any movement later on. I did date stamp, mark it with paint on the beam that I installed these on the 5th of May of 2024. Same thing, I used the Loctite epoxy that bonds to wood and metal and all the holes. Injected in the holes and also put a bead down the bolts. I did drill out the front tube with a 3/16 drill bit, just going through the first piece of aluminum per the TSB 24-001. So now I just gotta put everything back together. The other thing I want to document is you can see just how very little of the bolt was actually in the wood. You can see that's the full length of the bolt, and that's a little bit there. I haven't measured it, but it's not a whole lot. Let's put a measure tape on it just to see how much might have been in the wood. As you can see, maybe a ½ inch or so of the actual bolt made it into the wood in the frame to hold the wall up, and I was missing 2 of them. Luckily none of mine were loose. They were all tight, the original ones, and I were able to tighten up the new ones. Alright, got everything finished on the lag bolt installs. Couches are back in place. I did the pro tip, run your slides in before you put the couches in, just to make sure everything's like it's supposed to be before you go through all that trouble. That's it. I hope this video helps. If it does, like and subscribe. It's just a little small channel.